gathered.
Keith, I've spent 21 years in the Middle East working for the CIA. I've seen the results of torture in countries from Egypt to Syria to Saudi Arabia, and the intelligence is dribble. It leads to false leads. People will say anything if the pain is bad enough. It is useless, and I reiterate, it's useless. I've spent 3 years now visiting Israeli jails, talking to Hamas prisoners, and talking to Shin Bet, their intelligence service, and they agree it's useless. They use traditional police techniques, interrogations, legal interrogations, and they get more out of an investigation than torture.
As a professional and an experienced researcher now in this, I imagine something in the Times story yesterday might have been the most disturbing thing here, just on a professional, what in the world are they doing level to you. The case of Mohammed, of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was severely interrogated over a period of about 2 weeks. But the problem was, as the Times put it, the initial interrogators were not experts on Mr. Mohammed's background or Al-Qaeda. So instead of beating him up, does it shock you that the agency could have been, much more easily served by having some guy who knew what the hell he was talking about and asked him questions? Because obviously a lot of these statements proved wildly false and, as you said, produced extraordinarily misleading lines of inquiry and perhaps, who knows what else besides inquiry.
Well, we know that he lied about his participation in the murder of Danny Pearl, the Wall Street Journal journalist who was killed in Pakistan, his head cut off. He just made that up, that he wielded the knife. He did that under torture. And what the problem I have is if he's our main source of information on what happened on 9/11 and it was extracted by torture, which everyone will tell you is unreliable, I'm not quite sure what happened on 9/11. We're just adding to conspiracy theories when we get information like this. And that's not to mention that we're trying to win the hearts and minds of people in the Middle East, but that's a moral question that someone should answer.
Robert Baer, formerly of the CIA, now a columnist with Time.com. Great thanks for your perspective. I wish it were under other circumstances. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Keith.
The intelligence